Good morning, everybody. So, this one is for the people who always feel like they are lacking time. So, hi, guys. My name is Donnie Rouse, and you are listening to the podcast One Life No Time Syndrome. Do you ever find yourself saying, well, there's not enough time to do the things you want to do? Or maybe it's this overwhelming feeling of anxiety because you always feel like you're rushing from thing to thing. This is something that I was actually very familiar with because growing up, my father would always leave things kind of in certain places, like bills and stuff, like on the table, because probably I would assume, because we all pick up things from our parents, that there was this mechanism in his mind saying, well, there's not enough time, not enough time. And so you jump from thing to thing, and it literally almost drives you insane. But the point of this podcast here is to let you understand that you have to stop that insanity because the life you desire is the cost. So, in order to do that, we have to first stop the distractions, stop the things that are pulling us away from the things we need to do. Secondly, we have to start to take some actions. We have to start to do the things we want to do. And thirdly, decide what it is we want and start incanting something positive in our own minds. I would wake up for my farmers markets. Saturday and Sunday, I do two different markets. Saturday, I would always wake up tired and feel like there wasn't enough time. And needless to say, the market was 5 minutes away. The following day, the market was even further, 20 minutes away. And I would always wake up and I would always get there on time until recently. But there was something going on. Some days I would wake up and I would literally be overwhelmed. And I would start to incant to myself. I would say, so much time, so little to do. So much time, so little to do. So much time, so little to do. As a result of doing so, I found my body starting to calm, start to come under control. And as a result, time stopped or time slowed down. And then when I arrived, I realized that the setup to get everything ready to start doing business, what may have taken me a half an hour when I was in that frantic mindset, all of a sudden now took 15 minutes. So that was just telling myself something differently than incanting, right? Because isn't it true? If you say something over and over, you start to believe it and you start to respond as if it was true. It's amazing what you could do when you have a calm mind. Let's go to distractions next. So many people say, there's just no time, no time, no time. Have you ever checked your iPhone screen time or your phone screen time to see exactly how much time you're spending on social media or looking on your phone? It's staggering. I know I've been at times where I would spend 3 hours. Sometimes it's, most of the time now it is usually doing email or maybe checking something on the web. But there was a time when that was all on social media, and that's a daily thing. So what can you do with 3 extra hours to your day? It requires you to start to create some awareness. Maybe you don't even know that there was an app on your phone that could monitor how much time you're spending on social media, because sometimes just the awareness alone can give you that epiphany, that shake to say, wow, I'm wasting so much time here. What other distractions are there? Maybe you're saying yes to everyone else's needs but your own. That is also considered a distraction. Why do you feel like you have to do all that? You have to start pulling back your time and reserving your time for yourself, because it's the only way you're going to get more time. And everything in your life, everything you want requires you to do that. And then the last thing, action. Before you can create anything, it requires you to take some kind of action, some kind of step in the direction of the thing you want. today, I actually not just today, but I've been meditating every single morning. And it's one of the reasons why you see me here right now. I kind of get this inkling. I focus on the effect I want to have, the impact I want to have in the world, the message that I want to share. And then when I get it, and literally when I was about to come out here, I was, you know what, there's no time. I have to go brew coffee. But then I said, no, let me just stop that right there. This is what I want to give. There's always enough time. And there is enough time. I'm not really on a time schedule. I could go in a little bit later. It's not a big deal. But if we don't monitor ourselves and literally start to not only break the distraction, to monitor these habitual ways of being, as well as taking the action, you're not going to move forward. You're going to stay exactly where you are. So where in your life, or where are you distracting yourself? Where are you making things urgent that are not urgent? Where are you literally spilling your time or giving it away where it's not serving you? And I want you to take the answers to these questions and start to pull that time back to you. Answer this question: what would you do with an hour, an extra hour to your day, or an extra 2 hours to your day? How would you spend it? You're probably fantasizing about that, like, oh my God, well, yeah, I would pick up a book. I would go for a walk. And I'm willing to bet nearly 99% of you out there, you can find 2 hours in your day. But it's going to require you to be honest with yourself. It's going to be required of you to look at your time a little bit differently, and sometimes to strategize. What is it that you want out of life? How would it feel to take just some moments of your day in order to start to build the stream, to start to move towards the thing you want? Right? When we're moved toward the things that are emotionally charged, we tend to build even more of that emotion, and we start to build momentum. But it requires that you really have to focus and feel what it is that you want, right? It's kind of like the whole law of attraction thing. Once you start to do that, then you start to have a pull. The hook is there. You just have to bite the hook so this way it could pull you in the direction you want to go. Not really a good representation there because no fish wants to be pulled out of the water, but you know what I mean. The fishing pole is the thing you want. So you're more than happy to just let yourself be pulled out. More than anything, I want you to realize that every single day is a blessing. Every day is a gift. And it's not to bash you. You don't beat yourself up over, well, I didn't do this today or I didn't do that. Every second is a chance to correct. And then correct again. And then correct again. Because you have to build the habit. But not beating yourself up over what you haven't done. When you allow yourself that grace, all of a sudden now moving towards the thing you want becomes a little bit easier. You have to forgive. You were made to enjoy and love your life. That requires you to be an active participant. So I hope as you listen to this, as you take this message into your day, you'll start to be aware of where are you distracting yourself? What actions could you be taking? But also be aware of what are you telling yourself? What is the language is going on in your mind that's literally may be driving you crazy? And start to replace it with something more empowering. Like I said, where it says, there's always enough time. There's always enough time, or so much time, so little to do. Incant that. Say it over and over and realize when you're in those searchful situations how it makes you feel. And breathe. You know, when you're stressed, when you feel like there's not enough time, you don't breathe. Once you breathe, all of a sudden now things start to slow down. I'll give you one little quick story. I was at Costco yesterday picking up some supplies and as well as some groceries. And I caught myself going in this frantic like state where I don't even know what kind of state it was. But then all of a sudden, I glanced out. I took the focus from being inward, outward, and I started looking at the people walking in and out of the store. And I started to bring my senses, focusing on my senses. And then all of a sudden, everything started to slow down. I started to breathe too. So be aware of your emotional and your mental state. And there's always time to take a few breaths if that's what's needed. So I hope you enjoyed this podcast, guys. I hope this makes you conscious of your day as well as the incantations that you're saying. But also, just to take a moment. There's always time to take a moment, even if it's 2 minutes. That's the whole point behind my coffee ritual, the Rouse Coffee, is to make the time for yourself in your day, to take that pause, to appreciate and just realize all the blessings and all the beauty that's around you. I hope you enjoyed this podcast, guys. Thank you so much for listening. If you like this, please subscribe. Please, if you have a comment or want to ask a question, you can do so by visiting www.donnyrouse.com. Again, www.donnyrouse.com. And if you want to try some of this amazing coffee, this time-stopping coffee that I'm talking about, you could visit my website at www.rousecoffee.com. There you can purchase some of the roasted coffee or my bottled espresso cold Roman, and you can get 10% off by using the discount code ONELIFE in all capitals. That is all I've got for you guys today. Hope you enjoyed this message. God bless you, and remember, you get one life. Live it. See you next week.